Bias, the tragic story of Len Bias, the Celtics had the #2 pick then. There are very few times in NBA history, just a half dozen, where a team that's won 50 games has picked this high in the draft.
With the second pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Darko Milicic from Serbia and Montenegro.
Turned 18 on Friday. The rules of the NBA draft had to change a bit to allow Darko Milicic to be selected. Used to be you had to turn 18 within 45 days of the draft. Now you must turn 18 by the end of the calendar year that the draft is in. Darko Milicic's dad, 6'7" police officer. Mom is 6'3". Enjoyed Sacramento on TV. Peja Stojakovic and Vlade Divac back.
Everyone, what is going on? Sacramento Gamer here once again with another NBA story time. This is the 4th in the series. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. You know, I'm gonna upload once a weekend for this series. You know, so let's get right into it. Today we are going to be talking about a certain Pistons player, a certain Magic player, and a certain Knicks player, and a certain Minnesota player. This player was picked in 2003, second overall by the Pistons originally, and he was a center who came out to be good, but was a supposed draft bust. This guy's name was Darko Milicic. Yes, we are talking about number 31, Darko Milicic today. Anyways, he was picked second overall, and he was a supposed bust. He was just turned 19. He had just turned 19 the Friday before the NBA draft, and he was supposed to be really good, and Detroit was taking a lot of interest in the 18/19-year-old center. And he was a European player. And he was born June 20th, 1985. He is 31 right now. He a Serbian player, and his basketball playing career went from 2001 to 2012, and he was number 31 in 99. So he played for the Detroit Pistons for 3 years, 2003 to 6. He played for the Magic for a year, then he played for Memphis actually for 2 years, and then he played with the Knicks for a year, then he played with Minnesota for 2, and then the Celtics for 1 last year, and then that was the end. And then his accolades was that he was an NBA championship. In his whole entire career, he had 2,813 points, which would equal up to 6 points per game, and then he had 1,971 rebounds, which would add up actually by 4.2 rebounds per game, and then he had 613 blocks, which would go up to 1.3 blocks per game. And he was saying that he was going to come back actually to play, I think, in the European leagues, but then he never did. He retired because, you know, he wasn't really doing anything. Like, no one was giving him a full chance, and that was the problem. People call him a supposed draft bust, but teams like the Pistons only gave him like 1.6 minutes per game in his rookie season. He was a starter, you know, as the power forward position. I think, actually at the center position, and then Ben Wall also played behind him. He only got 1.6 minutes per game. Actually, 4.7, sorry about that. But that's insane. How do you expect a player to, like, you know, have very low stats if you don't give them enough minutes? He also said that one-on-one stuff can only do so much, and that he really needed to get like full-on minutes in a game, like a bunch of minutes in a game to really shine. But of course that never happened because people just called him a bust. Yeah, they passed up on Melo, Wade, and Bosch. Bosch could have been picked over Milicic, but Milicic could have been good if he was given a real chance, but no. Yeah, 4.7 minutes per game, you expect him to actually have, like, good stats. That's just not going to happen. And one-on-one stuff, yeah, that does help, but then you also need to give them minutes in a game for them to actually, like, you know, be able to, like, show what they can do on the real court, like, you know, on the court in an actual game. You know, and when they were scouting him, he was doing pretty decent, and the Pistons wanted him, so, you know, they changed the rules, so, you know, he could actually enter the draft, because he had turned 19 the Friday before the draft, so he was, like, really young at the time, the youngest player in the draft, and it's just kind of, it's dumb that they call him a bust, even though they never gave him a chance. No teams ever gave him a chance, you know. Is put him as pretty much a reserve / bench player most of the time, and he just never got a full-on chance, and then people just started calling him a bust, which is completely ridiculous considering that how can you call someone a bust when you never really get to see them play on the court, you know. It's kind of stupid that they would call him a bust. That everyone, like, stop calling him a bust. Like, he's not a bust. He just didn't get a good enough chance. He could have been good if he had gotten enough minutes, you know. He did train a lot. If he had gotten enough minutes, he could have been really good. But his career ended in 2012. So he'd been pro for about 9 years. That's sure a lot for the second overall pick. Look what the teams did to him. They made him retire because they weren't giving him enough minutes. Now I'm just ranting about him not getting enough minutes, but like, this is what I'm trying to think of here as to why his stats are so minimal and why he's, like, you know, just considered such a bust. Just after looking into it a little bit, it just didn't really make sense to me. So the Serbian center, I guess, just never worked out for any team. But I don't know, it's just, I really have nothing more to say on the subject. But this is my thoughts on why Darko Milicic could possibly not have been a bust, why he wasn't a bust, and why he could have been a good player, how he could have been a good player. So that is Darko Milicic. If it was a bit short, sorry about that. I'm probably going to upload 2 NBA Storytime today.